Yeah, it's good to see here with another video. Looks like we're gonna have a reg battle starting up at 1k. I do not think I'm winning in this lineup, but I'm on the list for a table and been enjoying reg battling at 1k recently. I don't feel I'm way off. Just move closer actually. Hopefully that's better. Is Jack gonna mix? King 6 gonna mix, but very much mostly fold. Keeping my RNG off table this time. 3 betting here. Gonna open bigger because the big blind likes to play a lot of hands, so we're gonna charge him for wanting to play a lot of hands. And seen worse flops than that on the bottom right. But I mean, no spade was terrible flop. Not even one spade. Let's start off with a small bet. I'm gonna start off with a small bet here. I don't expect him to raise them very much. So we get to kind of like bet small once and then get to see a river quite often. Dream turn, obviously. Gonna mix some checks here. Not this time. And mixing in a free bet with the Queen 8. And I think when we unblock all the calls, we want to bet ourselves. I think I'm gonna bet. I think I am just gonna jam this one. Hope for ace queen or ace jack. Or 10-9. Winning a stack at 1k feels very good. Bit of a cooler for him, obviously. $10-8, we are going to mix 3 bet, but not this time. Quite like the idea of leading here. I've got a feeling this guy's recreational. We kind of put him in a horrible spot with his overcards. So I think I'm just, I think this is just going to be the best play. I think this guy's a recreational from the sizes I've seen him use in the very limited hands I've played against him. And even if not, like, it's just so hard to like float overcards here when you're kind of in the sandwich spot. Gonna call 5s. Almost flopping this up. No 500 tables running at the moment, but I am sitting to see if we can get one running. Not going to open deuces. There's a 40 big blind player on the button who likes to play a lot of hands, so deuces is just really not going to play well at all there. I think it would actually be probably losing maybe even like 0.1, 0.2 of a big blind. Going to assume this guy's fun. We can always change it later. Ace 10 we are going to mix. We roll aggressive. Ace 9 just folding. And picking up kings on the 200 zoom. And I don't expect them to be flatting many, if any, threes. I think I'm going to be raising this extremely aggressively, just with overcards with backdoors or just straight up overcards. So I'm going to do the same with kings. Not scared of the 6-4 getting there. Going to keep betting. I think our size is 3/4. Ace king. I think we do have to call turns sometimes, but I've rolled really passive, so I'm going to go for a fold. And I think just checking this one back, I'm going to be using 3/4 check. He's asking who's last. Sorry, losing track of the action there. Just trying to figure out who's last. And just checking down our 8. Here playing big overbet or check. Gonna check this time. I think 7 gonna mix some 3-bets, not this time. I'm gonna mix in some leads. Again, not this time. 10-9, I think we just pure block this hand. And never trying to get ace 8 to fold. I would be value betting worse than ace 8, so so I don't think this board's a range bet if you use 2.5, but given I use 2 on the button, I get to range bet this board. I like to just use lots of small bets here. You can definitely split and have big bets as well, but I like a high frequency small bet. And ace 5 we just fold. And I think now we split between block overbet, and I think when our kicker doesn't block any pairs, we overbet. King Jack mostly calling, very occasionally 3-betting. So if I had 9-7 where I block for calling range, I would not be overbetting. But when I have King 7, I will overbet. King Jack, I think, even with the hearts, I think we need to mostly call this. Like, I think we need to close to pure call this. Could be floating a bit wide, especially with a heart. Ace 5 going to me. Oh, I forgot to sit out. I think this is a fold. Definitely mixing some check backs with the ace-5, but we roll aggressive. Quite like bluffing this king-jack. If I roll really passive, I don't think we always want to be bluffing it. And definitely going to be bluffing river. Again, I get to c-bet this kind of board a lot more than someone that would use a 3x. We are going to c-bet this time. I think we just have to raise this one. Just seems too good. Gonna split my sizings. We actually rolled the more passive one, so I'm gonna raise smaller. Here I'm using pot check on the turn. I think this hand pretty much always wants to bet with an overcard for jack and no showdown. So this guy leads, I will just pure raise. This guy's definitely a fun player. Obviously folding our bluff. And now the Queen of Hearts seems like both of these cards just seem like just about the worst cards we could have to be bluffing, blocking the folding range so heavily. Gonna keep betting here. If he has a draw, he's gonna call us. When he snap calls, I don't think he's that strong, so I don't want to jam. Easy fold. I think this is an open. Not a very good heads up player, so gonna go for a range bet. Gonna use small overbet or check on this turn. We'll check this hand occasionally. Against a fun player, not gonna battle heads up. A short side. If he was 100 deep, I'd call this 3x, but when he's 80 deep, I won't. It does make a difference. But yeah, I think fives is too strong to fold, even though we've got a loose player and a short stacked player on the button. Given how loose he is pre, much happier about c-betting this than normal. He's just gonna have more air. So back to just 200 action for the moment. Nice to win a stack at 1k though, in a reg battle. Again, this player's playing a lot of hands, so I'm going to size up on the button. I catch prefer checking back against a fun player. Continuing to run well here. I think I like half pot check on this board, just always going to bet this hand. We're probably meant to check back occasionally in theory. I'm actually going to 3-bet. I would 3-bet over pairs here as well, just given the sizing. Sizing feels really weak, like he's just got pocket sevens. And very easy check down. Yeah, so I'm going to take a note here. Ace 8, mostly calling, sometimes 3-betting. Yeah, my like I'd be obviously I had the effect of nuts. It's kind of easy to say I'd be attacking that sizing um, with other hands, and also value betting against a very thin. This I think we mix, rolling really passive. Calling here. Oh, we might have a 1kc. Oh no, it's all regs. I'm not going to sit this. Just going to continue a zoom. If there was a spare seat at the table, I would sit quite in the mid to reg battle. Okay, there is a spare seat now. Gonna raise this sometimes. Rolling aggressive, going for the raise. Let me see if I can sit. And I'm going to leave this table here. Again, this guy's playing too many hands, so I'm not going to use my normal size. I'm going to use a bigger size. Oh, don't want me to do that. Me. Apologies. So this is the 1k table now. Again, with this guy just wanting to play a lot of hands, gonna size up. This is why we charge him a lot more for wanting to play a lot of hands. Again, I think if you use 2.5 this board, you want a big bet check. But with my size, with my pre-flop size, just going for a high frequency small bet is better. Going to pot the turn. 1 second. Sorry about that. And do I find the thin value bet against this player? I think I do. Not loving it. I'm actually going to fold to a jam. Okay, and this table just not breaks. Nice to get the thin value. So we'll let him have his button after this hand. But I'm not going to battle him heads up. Just going to range bet. Not sure if this is correct. Oh, I was timing out. Would again raise bigger into this guy's big blind. Just going to see if this guy wants his button. I'm going to have some leads. Rolling it. Jack 10. Against this guy, I think I'm actually just going to, like, I think he has, like, too many, like, Queen X and 2X hands. I'm not going to bluff him on the river. I'm just going to check the threes, I think. So yeah, he has, as seen, too many 2X hands and too many Queen X hands. But I mean, he should against my 2X size anyway. But I think even if I'd used my 3X size, I'd have too much Queen X and 2X. Getting to a turn. I think I'm going to call this in theory. But I think this is super underbluffed. And we have the bad end for gut shot, so I'm actually just going to let it go. Eights is a mix. We are folding this time. I don't play flats in the cutoff. Unless there's fun players in the big blind. So for me, 8s is 3-bet or fold, and it does fold sometimes, and we roll passive. Looks like this guy doesn't want his button heads up. Again, going to open the button bigger with this guy in the small blind. What did he have that hand? We had ace king. I'm assuming king 10, king jack, queen jack. So very happy that I went for the thin value there. This against really small will actually 3-bet some of the time, not always. And yeah, I'm going to use a big sizing against this guy. Going to check this one back this time. Just going to start off with this. Just call on the bottom right. Oh, I don't like this. But he can very easily have a queen for value here. I really don't like this. I don't think I can fold kings though. In case we're going to flat sometimes against 2x. This is one of those times. I don't think I can fold kings. I don't think he's ever bluffing, but I think he can value better queens, so I can't fold kings. There we go. Could actually lead here, given our flatting range is mostly middling pairs and broadways that connect well with the queen. I'm gonna raise sometimes. This is one of those times. And given the action's not great, I think I am just gonna sit out on the blinds and call it a video. Really quiet action this morning. Gonna go for a check on the number I rolled. Against snap check, I really don't see him ever bluffing or value betting thin on the river. So I think I'll just bet myself. Interesting. Snap checks back turn, raises river small. I don't think I'll fold king queen here, but I don't expect to win very often, but then I don't need to win very often. Yeah. King 7 going to 3-bet sometimes. Sit down next hand, I don't want to battle heads up. This reg's etiquette's really bad. He never reg battles, and yeah, I won't get into it, but really bad etiquette not to sit in 3-handed there. He's one of the biggest bum hunters on the site for sure. I think we want to start betting this sometimes. We're all extremely passive though, so going to check this time. And yeah, just going to leave here, calling it a sec. Check raise or overbet. Gonna overbet. And calling it a sesh there. How long's that been? 25 minutes. Bit of a shorter one. Action's not great, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And see you soon. Bye.